because, see, black men are unruly. They've always been.
Yeah.
But they are great leaders. They work very hard. And although they have an unruly way of getting the job done, they still get the job done.
Yes.
But it's intimidating.
Yes.
It's intimidating to them in the workspace. So a lot of times they will be frustrated with work because they get passed over, not because they're not good enough, not because they're not qualified, because just like us, they have to work twice. As a woman, I had to work 3 and 4 times as hard in the industries that I was in.
Yes.
But they get looked over, and I don't think it's enough grace given for how hard they try.
Yeah.
They really do try. Now, unless they a bum, because it's plenty of them
That
out
don't
there
try.
too.
That is true.
But other than that, like the ones that try, if they're really, really trying, you don't know what, like you said, they have a jacket, whatever the case may be, what they could have had a charge. And when I worked in construction, all them white boys out there, they are all convicts. They are millionaires because they get another chance.
That part.
That is true.
They get another chance.
That is true.
They don't demonize them like they demonize black men.
All right, thought I felt something bite me on my neck, but we here. So I seen this video with this lady saying that black men are like black women in the workplace and they have to work just as hard and they get passed over for opportunities. And it's funny how it takes a woman to say something to advocate for black men for people to believe it, or it takes a Brad or a Becky to say it when we say stuff is just seen as fantasy or it's in your head or that's what it's seen as. And we're telling people, what it is. And, she said one thing that everybody, all the brothers said, didn't like that she said, and I'm going to address that from the beginning. She said that, well, yeah, there are some bum men out here. No, there's bum Brads out here. There's bum Keishas out here. There's bum Ling Lings out here. Don't just make it seem like, oh man, some of the black men are bums. They're bums. They're bums. And this is like, what? It's more bum bitches than there is bum men. Like literally. There's more women on WIC. There's more women on food stamps. There's more women that's having babies, to get child support. There's more women going on food dates, because they hungry, because they can't afford to put food on their table, all types of shit. So this whole narrative that it's a bunch of bum niggas out here and it ain't no bum bitch. It's way more bum bitches than men. Bum Becky's, bum Brass. Like, get out of here where they always trying to attach that shit to our name. Oh man, there's so many bum men out here and this, that, and the third. Just because you only date bums because you want to be superior to somebody else. No, and we've been telling people this for years that, and she made a point where, black men seem unruly and that's cool because at the end of the day, they say we unruly because they are intimidated by our masculinity. They're intimidated by our frame. They're intimidated by our intelligence. They're intimidated. Hit the link in the scriptures on the Patreon. They're intimidated about when we get opportunities like that, how well we do opportunities. And we're going to ask questions why. We just not going to do some shit and not ask why. And that's the issue with black guys on the work first. They just want you to tell you to do something and you do it. And then one thing you find out when you they tell you to do stuff. Oh, you should, just do this and do this, that, and the third. And then they get credit for your work. So I'm going to say this. Black women can't compare their experience in America. And I'm going to just keep it on the workforce. Y'all experience is nothing compared to our experience. The whole American experience, the work experience, our experience is 20 times worse than what y'all go through. Y'all must understand that. Y'all had DEI. We didn't have that, bro. That never benefited us. They don't understand, like when your man come home, a brother come home from work and you yelling and screaming and you doing all this hollering and you ask him to do this. Bro, our work experience is 100 times different than anybody else's, bro. It is so much different. We do a great job. It doesn't get acknowledged. We could do a great job for 12 straight months. We don't get recognition for it, public recognition. They'll tell you in private how good of a job that you do. always in private. But the minute you make a mistake, it's overblown. It's like you did a great job on the job for a whole year and you made a move 10 steps forward, right? You make that one mistake within 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, it sets you 100 steps back. Even if the mistake wasn't your fault. And then on top of that, what they don't realize as well too, we get sabotaged at the workplace. They sabotage our work. They fuck our orders up. They put us in a position to not succeed. So when we get positions, let me just say this. Let me finish that off. They put us in positions not to be advantageous at the workplace. When, you know, it's just they sabotage you. They'll mix your paperwork up. They'll do all this stuff to target you because they're jealous of you. That's what it is. And they see how easy you do a job and they want you do your job easy. Then they want you to do this person's job. Then they want you to pick up a broom. They always want to see a motherfucker working. Even if you zoom through your job, oh, go pick up a broom. But they don't tell that to other people. Or go do this, or you do this, do that. They always want to see you do just, you know, you feel what I'm saying? But, you know, another thing about it, when you come in and you get jobs of high ranking, or you come in and you get a really good position, people, oh, why you get that position? And don't even respect your credentials. Don't ask about your credentials or none of that. We can't afford to be late. We can't afford no mishaps. How y'all women be late to work, 10, 15 minutes late, and they give y'all grace because y'all a woman, and we don't get that. We don't get none of that. We don't get that grace. If we ain't here, we can't sue like that black woman sued the Equinox with the personal trainer, and we don't get that grace, bro. It's a target on our back at the workplace. And a lot of us get tagged with the unruly tags because we're just not going to do what you say do because we understand. We do what you say do, you get the credit for it. We don't get the credit. You know, when we do a good job, we don't get public recognition at the job. You know, when these promotions come up, we get passed up for promotions. When we complain, it get held against us. When we write reports, it get held against us. It's not that, like, people don't really understand that shit. We can't complain. We can't write people up. We can't raise our voice, then we seen as hostile. We can't point the finger. We can't give an explanation because it's an excuse. It's seen as an excuse. So I just be trying to tell people, like women have no idea when your man come home and you be hoopline and you bitching and complaining about some bullshit, bro. Literally, most men are one more iota from sending themselves to the upper room or sending somebody to the upper room when they come in from work. And for you to create a hostile environment at home, is you playing with your life. Women don't understand that because they are narcissistic. They think everything's about them. You know, oh, you ain't touched me in a week, bitch. I'm stressed. You know, every day I'm pulling out. I'm not going in the real world. I'm demonized. You know, the police look at me a certain type of way. It's hard. And we ain't complaining about it, but you know, nobody wants to sympathize with our let's just keep it the black men's experience or male experience at the workplace. You gotta be perfect, you know, just to maybe get a promotion. Come on. And then you got the guys that sit there and they bootlickers and they buffooning and cooning and kikiing and laughing their way to the top. And you got to watch out for them backstabbing you. But she's right. You know, a lot of the guys, she worked in construction, a lot of the brads, they get second, third chance. A lot of these dudes, man, was meth heads, crack heads, armed robbery, stealing. I mean, Tim the two-man Taylor, Tim Allen, y'all know he got caught with some bricks at the Kalamazoo airport, bro. They can recover from anything. Mark Wahlberg, I got a video on the main channel about Mark Wahlberg. He had a hate crime for allegedly knocking out an Asian man's eye, and also saying racial slurs and throwing rocks allegedly. I remember the police story I did years ago, throwing rocks at black fourth graders and calling them racial slurs. He tried to get Trump to pardon his hate crime, and Trump said, hell no. When you understand Martha Stewart was able to do a white collar crime and able to recover and bounce back quick. So you always got to remember, ain't no room for error for brothers, man. It's hard, especially with the trucking industry. They trying to make it autonomous. In the trucking industry, bro, it's hard, bro. It's hard. It's hard to make a mistake in as a black man and recover in America. It's hard. It's hard. I'll be the first person to say it's hard. One of the best things I celebrated to myself was getting to 30, some years ago with a clean slate. I 30 with a clean slate, bro. I celebrated that, man. Every F on your report card, misdemeanor, all this shit, man, it holds you back, bro. I try to tell people that's all of the tattoos on your arm as a brother, the tattoos on your neck, your appearance, how you dress, how you speak, the car that you drive, all that's a representation of yourself that can set you back. You are already stereotyped. And I'm interested. I was interested when I seen this video. I was like, man, what's something to talk about? They even her explaining this, they have no idea. The female work experience, the black female work experience, times 10 or 20. I'm gonna say 10 to be nice. That's the beginning of the worst black man experience on the job. And she's like, oh, they're considered unruly. It's not that we aren't, they're intimidated, bro. They're intimidated. And I end off on it. Usually the opportunities that we get are opportunities that nobody else could fix. Was parts of the business that was trash, and they need you to clean it up and make and do a miracle. And do a miracle. You got to clean it up and do a miracle, bro. We get the jobs. If we get the jobs nobody else want on the entry level, even when it's jobs of accounting jobs or top jobs or high paying jobs, they're usually in shambles, and we usually have to clean it up in a short amount of time. And unfortunately, you clean it up and you structure it the right way. You know what tends to happen? You don't get a raise, you don't get a promotion, you don't get public recognition for what you've done. And what they do is they kick you to another department and take credit for what you did. It's a crazy world, bro. But hey, hit the link in the description, join the Patreon. Peace.